Hi, Mike Kennedy with you, and we're doing a little on the Baofeng UV-S9. I thought I'd go over some features that don't involve transmitting on the ham radio bands. So first you turn this thing on.
Frequency mode.
It announces what mode it's in, which is kind of nice. We have, using this button, the monitor button, we have a flashlight. We have a blinker. It's not super bright, but certainly it's functional. You know, if you were in the dark, this would be good. The keyboard does light all up, which is good, so you can see the keys in the dark. One of the ideas why I got this particular one, this was $37, okay. Which these are really looked down on because they're kind of cheap but inexpensive. But then again, it's like they can still serve a purpose. With a call button, we press the call button once.
Newsom doesn't know that. Rent control is one of the worst ideas in America, and here it is coming to California. Joe Biden went full crazy yesterday, saying Trump.
So, if you politics, of course, it's politics, but you can get the FM radio too. It covers the entire broadcast band, so you could have, that's actually our news radio channel. You know, they have a lot of talk shows, you know, call-in type talk shows. So you've got an FM radio with this, and I would wager that most households today, newer households, don't even have a radio. The only radio they own is in the car, or is maybe if they actually still have a clock radio. Most of the functions, of course, have been taken away by the cell phone or whatever, because they do so many functions. People don't have radios, people don't have alarm clocks, people don't have cameras. Your eggs are all in one basket with that. Well, it's really nice to have a regular type of radio. You know, if there is some real emergency, a lot of the radio stations will stop, and then certain ones will remain running to provide emergency information and things, but they'll clear out the band so that these stations can be heard really well. So it's a good idea, I think, to have an FM radio. But so just as far as something that you would have in your house, you get a flashlight, you get an FM radio, that's pretty good. It's got this you know, audible alarm too. Now that I press the call button really hard, and this is actually can be quite loud. Whenever you turn it off, it goes back to the mode that you had it in before. So I think those are some decent features. Next time we'll talk more about transmitting. We'll talk about, let me just mention too, this has a wide range. You know, the ham bands are this big, and this covers this big. So what's in those extra sections? Well, what's in the extra sections are things like your local fire and police department, air controller towers at airports, all kinds of emergency management things. All kinds of different things are in these extra frequencies that this has. So you can use it as a scanner. Now one problem, okay, with this is that because these are inexpensive radios and they're just mass producing these and selling them everywhere, they have that entire spectrum open to transmitting. Well, you only are supposed to do this much on all of these frequencies. So the problem with this is that you could interfere with some extremely important communications with this. And so that's why you're really going to know your stuff. I know the FCC got someone because they had given these radios to their kids. They were using them like walkie-talkies, and evidently they were interrupting some really valuable communications. And you're just not allowed to do that. You get on certain frequencies, even if they're not being used, they're designated for something, and pretty much got to have an emergency that loss of life is going to be imminent if you can't contact someone, and you've tried all other means of communication. Then you can try those frequencies. But if you do it before those, when you've got a phone, when you've got everything, when you could reach someone on the hand bands, it's just really bad. So that's one of the disadvantages of this radio. Normally more expensive radios, they're made so they can transmit on all of those because of the different countries, but the ones they sell in the US only do this section. Maybe the ones they sell in Japan do a section up here. They're different sections for different things. But to make the radios cheaper, they just open it up on all the channels, which can be a problem with these radios. But, so there we go. We got an FM radio, we got a flashlight, we've got a scanner, we can listen to local emergency communications, fire and police, and we can be entertained or get news on the FM broadcast band. So, there we go. Next time, more info. Bye.